Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Thank you very much for attending the last session. So time flies. Yeah, it's already day 5. I cannot believe. So this is a very wonderful 5 days for me. Yeah. I'm honored to be here, invited as a speaker, and I could share the Dharma with you. And then, I hope you have a better understanding of the Jodo Shinshu teaching. This time, I'm more like a doctrinal person, doctrine side person, but try not to use doctrinal expression. Try to present the kind of core idea of Jodo Shinshu Buddhism, for each like a topic, Amida Buddha, Nembutsu, Shinjin, and then once you grab the essence or kind of basic foundational idea of those items, then I believe you can deal with more doctrinal, detailed explanations or descriptions of those items. So I thought the first thing is you to get the basic essential idea or concept of each topics. So if you want to know more about more doctrinal, detailed explanation, interpretation of Jodo Shinshu, those items, please ask your sensei. So, your sensei is important だよね、本当。As usual, I'd like to begin my session with the question from yesterday. So, I think I only received one question, I think. So, if you had a question and then I didn't receive it yesterday, ごめんなさいね。もしかしたら、I didn't, I may receive your question, but anyway, so the only question that I received yesterday is this. I said repeatedly that Amida Buddha exists because of us. Yes, I said so. My understanding is that Amida Buddha is the manifestation of infinite light, and then immeasurable light, which has existed for time immemorial. Therefore, isn't it that Amida existed since the beginning of the time, and then that had it not been for Shakyamuni, this truth would not have been available and known to us. This is a very good question. And then this is a very, very good point. And then actually this question has been discussed in the Pure and Buddhist tradition. Who is, especially focusing on who is Amida or what is Amida Buddha. And then when we answer or when we work on some question, I think it's important to from which standing point are you talking about, or are you discussing Amida Buddha. So to answer this question, I'd like to introduce the discussion of Buddha body. In Japanese, Busshinron. Buddha body theory or Buddha body discussion. And then, right after Shakyamuni Buddha passed away, disciples, followers, they start thinking, okay, so who was a Buddha? What is Buddha? What is enlightenment? And then that kind of discussion developed into this discussion. What is the core essence, of the Buddha body, existence of Buddha? And then, to answer the question today, maybe I think it's nice to share with you 3 types of Buddha. So one is Buddha with no beginning, no end. Buddha with no beginning, no end. I think day 2, I talked about the Dharma body as suchness. Dharma body as suchness, which has no form, kind of beyond our conception. Our human, we have no access to this kind of metaphysical, ultimate truth, right? Dharma body as suchness. So this one is like that. This kind of metaphysical, kind of essential existence of Buddha. That is no beginning, no end. Right? It's a kind of timeless, kind of beyond the time Buddha. And then second type of Buddha is Buddha with the beginning. This Buddha has a beginning, but no end. Right? So maybe Amida Buddha. Amida Buddha falls on this category, this type of Buddha. So sometimes, hojin, in Japanese we call it hojin. That means fulfilled body is the English translation. And then like Amida Buddha, who fulfilled the vow. Right? So there is a kind of process or story, right? Stage of bodhisattva. And then vow, establish vow. And then practice. And then later attain Buddhahood, become Buddha. So there is a story process. In other words, there should be beginning. And then in case of Amida Buddha, this is the Buddha of immeasurable life. That means no end. And then the third one, Buddha with the beginning. ごめんなさい、これ間違えてる。beginning. And then, どこだ。beginning and the end. In Japanese, ushi, ushu. So it has a beginning and it has the end. Right? Like English translation is, this one is Ojin or Keshin. So Ojin is more like a Shakyamuni Buddha. Like a human body type of Buddha. Born in this world, and then as a human, and then died. Right? So there has a beginning and end. And then transform the body, Keshin in Japanese, which is like a different form of Buddha. Maybe like a Buddha in the form of dog, Buddha in the form of cat, or Buddha, transform its, existence body in a different form, and then giving us a guidance. Right? This is a kind of expansion of stretch the existence of Buddha, taking different forms, and then Buddha as bodhisattvas giving us a guidance. Right? So in that sense, again, like a Shakyamuni Buddha, human existence has a beginning and then has the end. Right? So when I say Amida Buddha exists because of us, my assumption, my standing point is this part. So I interpreted Amida Buddha as the Ojin, Hojin, beginning and end, because Amida Buddha has the story taught in the larger sutra. And then this Buddha was so inspired by the Dharma, and then decided to become a bodhisattva, right? And then spend the 5 kalpas for deep contemplation. For what? To think of me. Right? So from the very beginning of Amida Buddha's attainment to Buddhahood, or Amida's pursuit of attaining Buddhahood, I was there. Right? So in that sense, I would say because of me, Amida kind of came into being. Right? So this is how I put myself in the story of Bodhisattva Dharmakara. So in that sense, I was part of that story. So that's why, because of me, Amida took, action, and then attained Buddhahood, and then has been calling me to awaken to this, Amida's guidance or Buddha Dharma. But of course, if we discuss Amida Buddha from this interpretation, Buddha body, of course, timeless. Maybe before, regardless of my existence, Amida existed. So depending on which, type of Buddha body are we talking about, and then maybe kind of different answer to this question. But I myself, like a Shinran Shonin, when we deeply contemplate on the, Buddha's vow, it's for the sake of myself. This is a passage in the Tanisho. I quoted 2 or 3 times my session. So kind of I have a similar kind of take from with Shinran Shonin. So that's why, because of Amida, so because of me, Amida came into being. And then this is a kind of stretch of the interpretation, or kind of the advanced, addition. So then, some mean person would ask, hey, wait a minute. Then how about the sentient beings before Amida Buddha? Right? Because according to this idea, Amida Buddha has a beginning, and then no end. But how about the sentient beings before Amida Buddha? Kind of no salvation, no guidance from Amida Buddha. This is a kind of mean question. Not mean だけどもね。interesting question. And then, not only Amida Buddha, there is another way of kind of thinking, discussing the Shakyamuni Buddha too. There is these 2 ways to look at the process or existence of Buddha. In Japanese, 十因しか, and then 十因効果 for Chinese characters. The first one means, 十 means from. Second Chinese character, in, cause. And then the third Chinese character means kind of reach. And then the last one, ka, means result. So from cause, reaching to the result. So this is a kind of talking about the causality. Right? From cause, and then eventually reach the result. So this is a very, basic idea, kind of normal process, like this. Bodhisattva king was inspired by the Buddha Dharma, and then started the Bodhisattva path, which is a causal stage, cause. And then eventually, because of practice and then establishing a vow, eventually as a result, Bodhisattva Dharma kara became a Buddha, Amida Buddha, right? From cause to reaching a result. So this is a kind of natural, normal process of becoming a Buddha. And then there is another way, this is a kind of twist of this process from a different way. More like including this idea. This is a kind of combination of those first 2. So the second for Chinese character means, 十かコイン means, from the result towards to heading for the cause. This is kind of reverse. Right? From result to down to, coming down to cause, causal stage, causal process. So that means ultimate Buddha, timeless Buddha, manifests itself into the kind of time. And then showing the story of Bodhisattva Dharmakara, showing the process of becoming a Buddha. Although this Bodhisattva is originally already Buddha, but showing something, telling us something, kind of provisionally, show another kind of process of becoming a Buddha. So that kind of way of understanding is 十かコイン. And then Amida Buddha, our tradition, and then some pure and Buddhist tradition, when we discuss the beginning of Amida Buddha, we also take this idea, this doctrinal idea too. So Amida Buddha, of course, according to the story of this larger sutra, has a beginning. But this story of Bodhisattva Dharmakara for this, Bodhisattva becoming a Buddha, Amida Buddha, is to tell us something, story, for us to awaken the deep compassion of Amida Buddha. So, Bodhisattva Dharma から、ね、実はね、this Bodhisattva was originally already Buddha, and then provisionally show that this process of becoming a Buddha. So, in that sense, we don't have to worry about the sentient beings before Amida Buddha attains becoming a Buddha, because this Amida was already timelessly Buddha before Bodhisattva Dharma から attains Buddha. So those are the kind of doctrinal play of how to understand Amida Buddha. Yeah. So in that sense, Amida is in a sense timeless. Yeah. If we take the interpretation combining those two, has a kind of ultimate timeless Buddha. But at the same time, according to this story, yeah, we can read Amida Buddha as a Buddha with beginning and then no end. So we can kind of switch back and forth, and then can deepen our understanding, appreciation of this Buddha. ね、はい。はい、ということです。はい。なんか書いてあるね。はい。なんか、クエスチョン、今？はい。
I've heard that when Shakyamuni Buddha died, he transformed into something. What did he transform to?
Ash? Dame? Is it okay? This is a good question too. Maybe ash, or remains. The BCA has received relics, shari from the king of Thai, and then the top of the BCA building we enshrine Shakyamuni Buddha's remain born. That means when he died, they cremated, and then they spread the remains, bones. So maybe historically speaking, I would say Shakyamuni Buddha transformed into ash or bones. But I know there are many legendary stories about the Shakyamuni Buddha. So maybe each Buddhist tradition, especially Theravada Buddhist tradition, maybe have a lot of story to talk. But I don't know.
For some reason, I remember growing up, someone said that when he died, he transformed into a higher level Buddha. He wasn't really Buddha on earth because he had to deal with his own flesh. So that's the reason for the question.
まあね、よく言うのがね、これかな。ニールバーナね。字が悪い、汚いね。パリニールバーナね。まあ、ニルバーナ is kind of 悟りね。And then when he died, he lost his physical body. Sometimes we say he entered the pari-nirvana, kind of ultimate, perfect nirvana. So that means the nirvana or attainment he acquired with his physical body. One view is they differentiate. So the nirvana or satori Shakyamuni Buddha attained during his lifetime. And then one view is try to differentiate once he died and then he entered the true ultimate pari-nirvana kind of thing. So, まあね、それ I haven't attained nirvana yet, so I cannot talk in detail about this yet. はい。Okay, so じゃあ may I move to the today's handout? ね。あ、そっか、これ書いてなかった。どれだったっけ？こっちか。はい。それではね、let me briefly go over, do the review because I know some people ね、easily forget. ね。What did you have your breakfast yesterday? What?
You know what I had?
You every day ね。So even breakfast yesterday we don't remember. So maybe this is started from Monday. The lecture Monday, lecture on Tuesday. Some people forget. So I think it's me too. ね、すぐ忘れるから I'm very forgetful だからね。Yeah, it's good to go over, ね、do the review. So ね、Buddhism. I said ね、this is a teaching. This big, strong I becomes smaller when we truly, honestly follow this teaching. Yeah. And then eventually, even this small I will become extinct. That is to become a Buddha. There is no I in Buddha. And then, today Mary brought I think some of you got these pins, right, at the registration table. This is kind of great tools for propagating, spreading the Dharma by BDK, Bukkyo Dendo Kyokai. Like a pin badge with Dharma saying, short phrase. So what if the show ends tonight? What if show ends tonight? It's like a Shinran Shonin. When Shinran Shonin took ordination, this is kind of what he, composed. Short poem, Impermanence. So hatred is not overcome by hatred. This is true. This is very important. And then, could I be wrong? Could I be wrong? So this is a very good, saying too. So we always think, I am right, you are wrong. Right? But interestingly, when we say you are wrong, so one finger is pointing at somebody, but the three fingers is pointing myself. Right? So this is a kind of trick one of the Dharma school, kids taught me. This is, so three fingers. So we have to think about, could I be wrong? Right? So before we accuse other people, we have to think about myself. Live in the moment. Live in the moment. This is very important. Like we have to, mindfully live moment to moment. We are living a permanent, precious, life. So we have to focus on moment to moment. Although it's really difficult. And then wake up. This is wake up. So this is just a part of BDK, pin badge collection. I think there are almost 30 kinds. And then there is no I in Buddha is one of them. But unfortunately, no, they don't have this one right now. But anyway, so this is one explanation of Buddhism. What is Buddhism? This is kind of one way to describe what the Buddhism is. And then how can I be changed? How this transformation happens. And then I use the example of persimmon, shibugaki, bitter persimmon. And then this terrible guy can be a little bit, better guy because of Dharma. The sunlight, Dharma sunlight, change of temperature of Dharma or humidity of Dharma, flow of air, kind of thing. So when we are exposed to the working of Dharma, Amida Buddha, and then from within or internally, we are transformed, changed. Right? So this is the working of Dharma. This is the working of Amida Buddha. So that's why Jodo Shinshu Buddhism, we focus on other power. We are not able to change ourselves. We do need a support, help from something other than myself. And then day 2, I talked about then who is or what is Amida Buddha, who changes us. And then is this a personified deity, religious deity or not? So of course, there is a story of Bodhisattva Dharmakara. It's very human or personified Buddha. But please do not forget the core essence of Amida Buddha. Core essence of Amida Buddha. So I use the explanation, kind of share the story of piece of cake, and then talked about the importance of form and essence. Right? Form and essence. Sometimes we get stuck, especially Pure Land Buddhism, we get stuck with those form or Pure Land. But we have to deeply think about what is the essence of Buddha, statue of Buddha, golden body of Buddha. What is the essence of Pure Land described in Amida Sutra, kind of fantasy world? What is the core essence? So we have to think about, should know the kind of inseparableness, form and essence. And then day 3, I talked about Shinjin. So Buddha has the aspiration, wish to change us because we are suffering with our own poisons. So that's why, because of compassion, Buddha wants to change us. And then how should we receive Buddha's guidance, Buddha's benevolence, Buddha's care? And then I use the kind of analogy of patient and the doctor to explain Shinjin. So there should be 2 types of patient. Then this is Shinjin. This is one example, one way of describing life of Shinjin. Acknowledging how sick I am. Humbly, honestly, acknowledge, admit I am sick. And then, okay, I need to work on the treatment. Right? And then, at the same time, we need to trust my doctor. If there is no trust, we cannot work with the treatment. Right? Since we trust doctor, and then we follow doctor's instructions, so that's why we can change the way of our life. Right? So in the same way, we need a kind of entrustment to Amida Buddha. We need to know who I am, how I live my everyday life with the kind of diagnosis by Amida Buddha. That is, I would say, life of Shinjin. So, I also, added, used other analogies or explanations of Shinjin. But one important or famous explanation of Shinjin is 2 aspects of deep mind, invented by Shandao, the 5th of 7 masters. So Shinjin, in the Jodo Shinshu tradition, has a kind of 2 aspects. It's one side is awareness, humble, honest awareness of the true reality of my life, my existence. And then the other side is grateful appreciation of Amida's aspiration or my compassion. So they are like 2 sides of palm. They are inseparable. That is Jodo Shinshu Shinjin. One explanation. And then yesterday, I talked about practice. Nembutsu. Jodo Shinshu. What is Jodo Shinshu practice? Although I said that, listening to the Dharma is Jodo Shinshu practice, but of course, traditionally, saying Namo Amida Butsu, Nembutsu recitation is our practice. And then speaking of Jodo Shinshu practice, we say Nammanda Butsu, Nammanda Butsu, Nammanda Butsu, Nammanda Butsu. And then this Nembutsu, I explained from 2 perspectives. So one is the name we recite. The name we recite, Namo Amida Butsu, Myogo. And then the other item was recitation or verbal act, recitation. And then I started talking about the name, Amida Buddha's name, Namo Amida Butsu. What is Namo Amida Butsu? 6 Chinese characters. So this is a kind of summary of 18th vow. My summary. So I will prepare, or I have prepared everything necessary for you to attain Buddhahood. Right? So as a Buddhist, our goal is to attain Buddhahood. Our goal is to liberate it from this samsara and then attain Buddhahood, become Buddha. So as a Buddhist, this is my goal, my destination. This is what I want. And then Amida Buddha said, oh, I've prepared everything. So all you do is just say Namo Amida Butsu. I think this is a great gift. And then what is this Namo Amida Butsu? I used a kind of example, analogy of medicine. It's a small pill. But this small pill contains everything necessary for my treatment, cure. Right? And then although this is a small pill, but carries lots of kind of manifestation, kind of product of researchers' long effort. And then this long effort, researchers' long effort, kind of took a form into this small pill. So in the same way, just 6 character Namo Amida Butsu, just 6 Chinese character, combination of 6 Chinese character. But within these 6 Chinese characters, everything in it. Right? For me to be liberated from this samsara and then attain Buddhahood. And then although this is combination of 6 Chinese characters, like this pill. So Amida's effort is a kind of product of Amida Buddha's effort and compassion. Took a form into this Namo Amida Butsu. So as a Buddhist who wants to attain Buddhahood, all I should do is say Namo Amida Butsu. I don't need other practice. And then, of course, some people question, hey, wait a minute. That's too good to be true. No way. Right? And then, as I mentioned, in the Chinese Pure tradition, there is a big, discussion or about this. And then I use those diagram to explain how to respond too good to be true. This Nembutsu practice. So maybe based on human scale or human measurement, simple or short or single practice carries less merit, generate less merit, or they are less valuable thing. Or on the other hand, when we perform or accomplish complicated, longer, or various practice, we can carry, attain, receive more merits. So that's why they are more valuable. Maybe this is one way to look at the Buddhist practice from human scale. And then how about the Buddha's scale, Buddha's eyes? Simple, short, one single practice, or complicated, long, various practice. It's just a process to attain, enlightenment. Right? So for Buddha, it's kind of same thing. And then simple, short practice has less conditions. That means more people can successfully accomplish this simple, easy practice. On the contrary, complicated, long, and various practice require us to fulfill more conditions. Okay? So that's why, as a result, less people can successfully accomplish it. Okay? And then I put this question. What is the point of Buddhist practice? To achieve, difficult practice? No. To show off, hey, look at me, I finished this kind of difficult practice. Not showing yourself, being proud of yourself. And then what is it that accords with Buddha's compassionate aspiration? Buddha, especially Amida Buddha, established a vow to guide embrace all sentient beings. So that's why this practice should be like this. More people can successfully accomplish it. So that's why this Nembutsu practice is very, very important. So when we listen to the Dharma, when we listen to the Dharma message, Amida Buddha, this is what we should listen to. So this Nembutsu practice, just say Namo Amida Butsu, Namman Dabutsu, Namman Dabutsu. That's it? Yes, that's it. It's very simple and easy. But we have to realize, we have to notice the core essence within this simple and easy practice. Right? Because of this ease and the simplicity of practice. So that's why anybody can successfully accomplish it. Right? That is, Amida Buddha's aspiration, Amida Buddha's compassionate aspiration. Right? And then when we listen to it, and then realize the value, the true essence of this simple and easy practice, we should have a kind of appreciation, gratitude to Amida Buddha's care. That kind of appreciation is Shinji. And then that is, listen to the, so in the passage, in this larger sutra, after Bodhisattva Dharmakara, after Bodhisattva Dharmakara established 48 vows, and then practice. And then after practice, those vows were accomplished. Those vows were accomplished. And then there are some passages talking about the accomplishment of those vows. There is a passage for the accomplishment of the 18th vow. Talks about Mongo Myogo Shinjin Kangi. This is a Japanese phrase, but the Mongo Myogo, listen to the name. Listen to the name, this practice of saying Namo Amida Butsu. And then Shinjin Kangi, we greatly appreciate. And then joy, right? So 2 days ago, 3 days ago, so one of the questions from the audience was a joy. So I quoted a passage from Tanisho, chapter 9. So Yuyen asked, hey master, so the sutra said, when we attain Shinjin, we have a great joy. But I don't have that kind of joy. And then Shinan Shonin honestly responded, me too. So I introduced that story. So this fulfillment passage of the 18th vow says, when we truly listen to the name, right? Listen to the name means we deeply understand, we deeply appreciate the whole background, whole story behind this combination of 6 Chinese characters. When we truly encounter Amida Buddha's compassionate aspiration through those 6 Chinese characters, Namo Amida Butsu. And then we have a deeper appreciation, Shinjin Kangi. That is Shinjin. And then we kind of have a kind of joyful, grateful, feeling. And then 17th vow. All Buddhas praises my name because, just to say, many people think like this Eto's question. To attain Buddhahood should be not that easy, right? Just say Namo Amida Butsu, you can attain Buddhahood. That sounds too good to be true, right? And then, but this Buddha successfully established that kind of Buddhist path. So that's why other Buddhas, this Buddha is so cool, right? So 17th vow, other Buddhas, Bodhisattvas praise Amida Buddha, right? And then, so that's why it's kind of totally, beyond kind of our comprehension or rational, right? So to accomplish something really kind of wonderful thing that requires lots of effort, time, that is our kind of mindset, way of thinking. See? But to just say Namo Amida Butsu, we can attain perfect, supreme Buddhahood. Right? So that's why this Buddha, what this Amida Buddha did was inconceivable. This is a Buddha of inconceivable, right? Inconceivability. And then that is the Namo Amida Butsu portion. And then I move to the recitation. Why we say Namo Amida Butsu? So as I mentioned, we have received great gift from Amida Buddha. We have received great gift, Namo Amida Butsu, 6 myogo. And then, since we received this great gift with a deep appreciation, acknowledgement. So that's why, as an acknowledgement, we kind of say thank you, Namo Amida Butsu. And then, so that's why 10,000 times Nembutsu, and then one time Nembutsu is same. Our recitation, our verbal act, that doesn't matter. The recited word, this Namo Amida Butsu, 6 Chinese character, possesses great virtue. So that's why 10,000 times Nembutsu, one time Nembutsu, same. This is Shinran Shonin's words. はい。で、これでどうなるんだ。はい。So that's why I brought some example to talk about, explain the uniqueness of Jodo Shinshu Onenbutsu. あからというはあとなり唐辛子。In the same way, when we actually bite a hot pepper, then we say a hot. In the same way, when we truly appreciate Amida Buddha's heart, 気持ち、心. And then that's the time when we say, or the word of Namo Amida Butsu naturally, spontaneously comes out from our mouth. And then we try to control our cough, but we cannot control our cough. In the same way, when we are called the Dharma, called, and then the Onenbutsu comes out from our mouth, naturally, spontaneous. はい。ということで、So those are the kind of review in the past 4 days. Okay. So today the last topic is Ojodo, Pure Land. I know this is a very difficult topic. And some people are stuck with this idea of Pure Land. 行きましょう。はい、let's go. So eventually, as I said, I become Buddha, right? Because this is Jōbutsudo. Jodo Shinshu of Buddhism is a path for each of us to become Buddha. So then, question is when and where? When shall I become Buddha? Where shall I become Buddha? When and where is very, very important. And then everybody interested in when can I be a Buddha? So to become a Buddha, to become enlightened, that means it's a perfect revelation from suffering, right? And then it's a complete elimination or removal of my own gas, greed, anger, and the stupidity or ignorance, completely removed. Right? And then, as a Buddha, when we become Buddha, we should freely perform compassion. It's easy to be kind, help our friends, our family members, people we like, but it's really tough to help your enemy, right? But selflessly, we have to perform, compassion to whoever they are. So this means kind of to become Buddha, to attain enlightenment. And then, like Shakyamuni Buddha, can we accomplish them in this world, in this society, with this body, in this lifetime? Life is short. I know some people live over 100, but still life is short to achieve these kind of things. Well, of course, some people, yes, we can do it. Some people will say, yes, we can do it. Try to become Buddha within this world, within this lifetime. Right? But of course, some people would say, am I really, able to them? So in the, symbolically, there are 84,000 Dharma gates. There are many Buddhist paths for us to become Buddha. And then traditionally, this 84,000 Dharma gate, Buddhist paths are divided into two groups. So one is path of sage. That means try to accomplish those things to become Buddha within this world, within this lifetime. So this is one kind of path, one group of Buddhist teaching. And then the other path is Pure and Way. Of course, making a progress, try to achieve those things, but the final destination, the achievement of those things in the Buddha's land, after ending this life. So, Shinran Shonin, and then some other masters like Honen Shonin, and then Genshin, or Shandao, and then Taocho, Tanglang. So we have so many wonderful Pure and masters. So they are sort of, understood the Buddhist path, Buddhist, progress in this way. And then this Pure and Way. So although we try to achieve those things, but we don't think we can make it within this lifetime. And then some people may criticize or say, that kind of Buddhism is kind of just escapism. Not try to achieve within this world. You want to go somewhere after you die. Right? Or maybe perfunctory attitude. やる気がないね。ダメじゃねえ。No good kind of criticism from maybe other Buddhist tradition. Right? Or another take is, yeah, that's true. When we humbly look at myself, reflect upon myself, my daily life, my capability, or the reality of this world, this society. That's true. It's really difficult. I understand. Right? So Shinran Shonin and then other Pure and Masters, I'm sure they understood this Pure and Way in this way, because of their humble and then honest reflection themselves, and then observation of this world. So that's why they decided to take this path, Pure and Way. Tired? 1時間経ったから。そうね。Okay, so let me finish 2 more slides. And then this is not just those people are saying. I introduce those ideas. In Buddhism, we say like a Shabbasaha word. So this is an idea of looking at this world where we have to endure hardships. We have to deal with many difficult things. Or I introduce this English word. Half of our life is uncertainty. 3/4 of our life is kind of untruth. Right? So this is a very good English word. Very Buddhist. And then also I introduced this passage day 2. This is from BDK Teaching of Buddha Orange Book. This is how Buddha observed this world like a burning house. And then Shinran Shonin 2, when we look at the Tanisho recorded in Lament of Divergences, we can find Shinran Shonin's words in this fleeting world, this burning house. Shinran Shonin also observed this world this way, burning house. All matters without exception are empty and false, totally without truth and sincerity. And then the Nembutsu alone is the true and real. The Nembutsu coming from Amida Buddha, the Nembutsu coming from the truth itself. This is the only true thing, real thing in this Saha world, in this samsara. はい。And then, based on this idea, ね、then the idea of Pure Land comes in. はい。まあ、anyway, so let's take a break. ね。So, どうしようかな。まあ、45? 7:45までにしようかな。ね。7:45。はい。